Welcome, I'm Sheri Wren Haymore, and I'd like to talk to you about some of my favorite moments as an author. I am the author of two novels. One is A Higher Voice, and the other A Deeper Cut. A Higher Voice is my first novel. It's suspense. It's about a rock star, a legendary rock singer, who meets and marries a small town, North Carolina gal, and when he does, he puts her life in danger, thus the suspense. When I began thinking about the novel, I had these characters in my head, Britt Jordan and Dina Martin, and I was having a lot of fun thinking about what if a big-time rock singer married a small-town southern gal? What would that be like? But I didn't really have a story. And finally I came to the point where I had all these scenes in my head, but no story, and I said, okay, I need to come up with a story, or these people need to get out of my head and go live their own lives. So one day I was sitting in church, and yes, I have a very short attention span, and a preacher needs to be really good to keep my attention. And I was thinking about these characters, and bam, I had the scene where Britt Jordan marries Dina on stage in the middle of the Grammys. And I knew I had a story. And I had a great time writing this story. When I finished, one of my next favorite moments came on the airplane. My family traveled right after I had finished the novel, and I had my copy, although it was not yet in print for the public. And my daughter had been reading for the first time the story of Britt and Dina. And on the flight, she stopped reading, about 75 pages from the end. I thought she must be tired, and I said, "So you tired of reading?" And her answer was, "I don't want to leave their world." This means everything to me as a writer, and I hear it over and over again from people that I don't even know, that they couldn't put the book down and they did not want it to end. Another of my favorites comes when I'm talking to a book club, or sometimes just a gathering of friends. But people who have read the book, whether I know them or not, are always trying to figure out how to cast a movie. Who should play Britt Jordan and who should play Dina Martin? I have a lot of fun hearing their different takes on that. But it's wonderful knowing that the story resonates so deeply with them that they would love to see it in a movie. Another of my favorite stories. Now, A Higher Voice is suspense, but I would not really place it so much as a thriller. But a friend of mine was reading it and got to the point where the stalker does catch up with the little family. Britt, at the moment, is hammering. He's doing a little construction work there at their house. And the story reads, bam, 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 click, bam. Britt straightens up, because he has heard from directly behind him what he considers to be the most hopeless sound in the world, the sound of a round being chambered in a semi-automatic weapon. My friend was reading and got to that point and said she realized her family had gone to bed. She was all alone. She had not locked the door, and she had to quit reading because she was frightened. That is funny to me. My second novel is A Deeper Cut. A Deeper Cut is more of a suspense thriller. It's set in the small town of Beaufort, North Carolina, and it's about a college kid, Hunter Kittrell, who is caught up in the investigation of a serial killer. And in fact, he is implicated in at least one of the murders. When I was writing that story, we traveled to Beaufort, which is a favorite place of ours, and I had already written Hunter Kittrell. I had already described him as a careless college kid. He's cocky, he's not really committed to anything. He goes about things in an easygoing manner. And I'm looking around there in Beaufort. We're having lunch on one of the waterfront restaurants, and just thinking about the story and how it's already coming together and being set in this place. And there in front of me was this kid, looked like a college kid. I imagined him to be home on summer break, just like Hunter is in the story. And he was going about his job in this easy manner, this careless manner. that reminded me so much of the character I had already written. What the kid was doing was he was fueling boats as they came into the docks. And as a boat would come in, rather than walk around the dock from one bay to the other, he would dive in and swim across the short way and just going about it so easy. And I enjoyed seeing my character kind of come to life in this kid. A Deeper Cut has not been out as long as A Higher Voice, and so I haven't had quite as much feedback from people that I don't know yet. But people that I do know claim that they enjoy it more than A Higher Voice, which I don't know about that. I think A Higher Voice will always be my favorite. But what about you? I'd love to hear which of the two stories you like best. And I'd also like to hear from you as to what you're doing in your life. You see, it took me a long time to do what I'm supposed to do in my life, which is write, and write stories that capture readers' attention and perhaps mean something to readers. So I'd like to hear from you what you're doing, how you're getting at it, doing what you're meant to do in your life. In the meantime, if you'd like to read more about my story, you can read it on my website, SheriWrenHaymore.com, or read my author interview on Smashwords. And until next time, bye-bye.